Welcome to another episode of the Cobra Daytona build. The doors are in prime. I started blocking the one out. I'll show you that one later. But I got to take a break though. I block out one door. It takes them an hour, probably an hour and a half. Arm starts hurting me. So what I'm going to focus on now is I'm going to try to get the headlight covers in place. So let me show you what I've decided to do here, and hopefully. So here are the normal tabs. These are stainless steel, I don't know, 302, 304, 316, not sure. And they want you to run these, let me get one out here, these stainless steel screws into these holes. Well, these things just strip the threads out. And I think Paul on the forum actually had the same issue. So I'm going to do the same thing he did. And I've already drilled and tapped these to 832. And then I'll just buy some button head cap screws. But another thing I'm going to do, as you can see where they've got this little cutout. I think that's, I don't know if the laser starts there. They do that to help bend it. I'm going to grind this thing down, clean this thing up. So now you can see what you're going to see under the headlight bucket. And then I'll polish these out a little bit. So it should look a little smaller, a little more dainty. Strength-wise, not gonna. Basically, I'm just grinding to this inner edge. Hopefully, you guys can see all this. Just to this inner edge here. So I'm really not taking any important meat off of this, but you can see it really thins the whole thing down. Plenty of threads, plenty of meat. Just should make it look a little nicer. And then a little polished finish on there should be good. So that's going to take a little bit of while, but it just kind of gives me something else to do besides body work. So I get tired of just block sanding. So we're going to call that the, and then what I'll do is once I get all these things cut and trimmed, I will show you how we're going to get the covers in place using these newfangled dealies. Yeah, not a good idea with those screws and factory fob. I tried a couple of them and the screws were just stripping. Stainless steel, the brackets are a lot harder than the screws. So, okay, but thanks again, and we'll see how this goes. So I'll just do a bunch of grinding, won't show you what I'm doing, and then we'll go from there. Thanks. Tape on the car. I'm going to kind of take you through the path of what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the tape. I'm just going to kind of I think right there looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to hold this to my knee. Okay, so that there, I got that marked. So now I'm going to figure out where I want to put these 4 screws. And I'm thinking almost right where my fingers are. I'm thinking right about there. So, again, I'm going to mark here, 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 I think under here. Okay, pull her off. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to mark it. You know, you could probably try to level these things out a little bit, but I don't know what I'm going to get from that. You know, I could drop this one down a little bit to get it on the same plane as this. Maybe I'll do that. Go to here. That way I'm here and here, and maybe move this one up just a touch. Huh. There's my shop dog. Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi to everybody. Yeah. She's not a great shop dog. She gets bored out here really quick, but she's good to have out here. Man's best friend. Huh, yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take these brackets. And I'm going to take these brackets and we're going to tape them to the inside. Now, I bent these things out already, and I don't know which ones I bent where because I took them off before, so it's going to take some trial and error. Now we'll grab that cover again. We'll see what we got. Okay, so these two here look like they need to be reversed. As I said, I bent these when I was fitting it up before I decided to totally redo these things. So I'm basically starting from scratch again. I don't want to rebend them, so I'm trying to get them back to where they were. That way I don't have to redo this. Okay, now I'll try it one more time. Oh, that looks better there. Okay, so that one there looks really good. This one's got to come up. The other ones look pretty good. That one looks like it's angled too much up, but we'll pull it up a little bit. But this one here looks really good. So I'm going to keep playing around with this. I don't want to bore you guys with a whole bunch of video, but you can see where I'm going with this. I got to keep messing with these, bending them till I get this thing to fit perfect. And then I'll drill out the holes, pop rivet these things on there, or I'm not really sure yet what I'll play. Pop rivet or going to put some nuts there. It's probably just pop rivet will be done with it. But we'll see. But you get the idea, and I'll get more. I'll get some more video. I just don't want to bore you the whole ton. So after a while, I got all these brackets where they need to be. So now I'm going to kind of punch out the holes you can see behind the tape. And then I can mark that, center punch that, and that's where I'm going to drill the hole for the rivet. So this thing should work out pretty well. This one here has got to be angled just a hair that way. And then we can rivet these things in and go from there. So I think this should be nice. I just don't want to screw this up, because if you do, I guess there's really no going back. I mean, you can always fill it and restart again, but hopefully I don't have to. So wish me luck. So let's clean up these tape little holes and mark them and go. I'm going to see if I can just do this. Okay, so now what I've done is I've center punched all these holes. We're going to label these things so I don't lose. So I'm going to put little pieces of tape on these things, so I don't know, forget which one goes where. Let's so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I guess I can do one at a time. So I got a nice little hole right here. So let's drill this thing out and see what we get. I'm kind of a little nervous here. So what I've done is I've drilled the holes to 1/8 inch. This way I can kind of double check before I go hog wild with this. And I'm going to Cleco these in, even though really they're not going to be lined up perfect because the Cleco is kind of loose on that bracket. But at least this gets me close. And then I can see exactly what I'm dealing with before I go crazy here. So I'm looking down the side of the glass. This actually looks really good. This one's got to come up a little bit, but yeah, these things look really, I think both those do. Okay, so we're going to drill these holes out. Now, no turning back. Try to make a quick, clean hole so I can use the rivets to kind of hold these things into place. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the rivets. Oh, where the hell are they? Oh, they're there. Yeah, I know I need to clean off my workbench and all the good junk, and it's on my to-do list. But as you can see, I just got so many different little projects going on, so it just doesn't seem to happen. Okay, so we're going to put this one up here. See, that's what I wanted right there. So I see how it fits kind of tight. So that way I can hold it up there and then hold the glass up one last time before I rivet these things into place. There we go. We are looking good. And I guess if I had to, I could always wallow the hole out a little bit and move them around if I had to. I'm hoping I don't. Let's see what we got here. Okay, and then I look down the side. You can actually see, if you look down the side, like this one here needs to be cranked just a touch that way. This one here needs to be just a touch this way. I think that looks pretty darn good. So I think I'm going to pop rivet these into place. Let's try not to disturb it. And I don't know, I might be able to twist these, and once they're pop riveted, no, they're in there pretty good. So let's go ahead and do this and see what we got, and then we'll clean up the mess. And then okay, so I finished up the passenger light covers. You can see here, maybe you can't even see this in video. A little dirty already. But I ran out of video before I actually finished it. So let me show you where we're at over here. So I think I showed you where I was drilling the holes. So what I've done now is I've got the rivets in. I'm going to put the plexiglass, the cover, back on here. And then we'll make sure it fits okay. Make sure these things are angled right, because once these things get pop riveted in, they're pretty well stuck in there. And if everything looks good, then I'll hit it with the rivet gun. And at that point, we could start getting the glass on. Then I'll show you how to drill the glass. So let's see how it fits. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to carefully remove that. So now I'm going to get the pop rivet gun out. So I think we're good to go. Then we'll put it on top. We'll mark the holes, drill those out. So now very carefully, I'm going to slide the rivet gun out without disturbing. This one here is the one that's kind of a pain. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's this one here. You can't quite get the rivet gun in with that angle. This one here is tough too. This one here is a piece of cake. Okay, now let's hope the plexiglass fits back up there nice and beautiful. If not, we're screwed. But I've got a lot of time into fitting these. So I'm looking down the side, looks good, looks good. Oh yeah, it looks very nice. So this one here might have to be bent up just a touch. So I might do that here, and I think since I've narrowed these things up a little bit, there we go. Okay, so I think we're looking pretty good there. So I'm looking down the side. Yep, that looks good, looks good. Yep, I think we're looking pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this. Last night I had my daughter, because I had to squeeze it together. This one does not have to be squeezed. It fits pretty good just kind of sitting here. So I'm going to put some tape on this, tape it where it needs to be, and then I'll mark the holes. And I'm going to put a mark. And this is where we're going to drill into the covers. Holes, Factory 5 gives us a plastic drill, plastic cutting drill. So I'll show you the tip on this thing. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah, really angled drill. So I'm going to drill with this thing first, and then we'll open it up with the unibit, because this hole, is not big enough. So I basically put that tip right on the middle of that. Okay. Holes drilled. Problem is, they're all just a little bit too small. So here's where I'm sure people are going to cringe. I'm going to use a unibit, which totally different than a drill bit. And once this thing's open up, it leaves a perfectly clean hole. And I'm just going to open these up to the next size unibit. So I got to do it from both sides since the step is not enough to. And I also try to chamfer it a little bit by just letting it go down just a touch on that next step. Okay, and then I come in from the back side and just clean them up just a touch. So now I'm going to put the screws in, which I'm just using these black ones I've got right now because I didn't have any stainless steel and they're way too long anyhow. But once I get to the hardware store, I'll pick up some 832 in stainless, probably just 1/2 inch long. That's all this thing needs. And so I get them all started before I really start snugging them all up. Yeah, I got a little bit of fingerprints on the back side, so I'll pull these things back off and polish them and clean them up later. But fits pretty good. I'm impressed. So I got to find one more 8/32 screw, and then this job is temporarily done. Okay, all the screws are going right on in. No issues, everything lined up perfect. As I said, I'll get shorter, probably 1/2 inch long, maybe even shorter than that, 3/8 if I can. Depends on what the hardware store has. We'll do stainless steel, and then this thing will be another project done. As I said, I don't put a whole lot of pressure on these things. Just snug is all you need. There you go. Fits pretty good. I actually am impressed. Gap up in here is a little bit not great, but it's not bad. You know, same thing over here, just a little not perfect, doesn't match, but you know what? It looks pretty good. So I think we're going to call that done. Both headlight covers are on in place. The brackets are on. As I said, I cleaned up the brackets. I made these things a little bit smaller so they don't stand out as much. No reason, no harm, no foul with that. Looks good. So I think that's the headlight cover install video. We'll call that one a wrap. Thanks again for watching, and we'll continue on. As I said, lots going on. Hard to keep up with the video. So thanks again. Hit subscribe, and there'll definitely be more. So thanks.